So close your eyes. And straight away bring your inner listening, inner being and listening, which is one and the same. So you are not listening something. We are not listening something. We are the listening. It's a difference. Because when we listen to something, mind is subtly involved. But this involvement of the mind is perceived also. So it immediately brings us deeper. Into no interest in particular. Into no wants. Into no waiting. Into nothing else. Into no more. Just enough and full. So from this satisfaction, into the stillness. By recognizing that this is already so in your deepest place. So it's like there is an effort experienced. It might be effort experienced. But this effort is let go of. In the resting itself. So choose the resting right now, not the effort. See how easy is that. It's like landing, diving. With no panic. Or even if a panic appears, it's nothing to you. It's just like a sound. And very important thing straight away, if you have the tendency to fall asleep or to cloud yourself with the thinking during the meditations, make it an object and don't follow this object. Just be fully transparent, fully alive and open. Without waiting. Perceive the transparency of yourself. Not as an object, but as yourself. See how transparent is that, how alive, free and full. Don't close it with your thinking. Don't close it with your imagination. Don't close it with waiting. Or giving yourself fully into the mind. We can really make it in our essence. It's gonna be funny what I'm gonna say right now, but please try to understand that. You can make this no interest. You can make the mind not being so interesting. So refuse yourself now following the mind. Simply be. Feel the breath. Without the interpretation of it. Without the summary of it. Without the duality. Without the opinion. Like there was only breath on this world. Nothing else. Notice the presence all around you. By presence all around you. As presence all around. Noticing presence happens from presence itself. So something what is noticed is perceived. Always. So don't give yourself into commentary about it. Just be the witness. Rest in this attitude. Rest in not knowing. Rest in not wanting. Also see that it doesn't stop existence. It doesn't stop the sounds, the movement. But experientially, in the core of your being, something doesn't move. In the movement, with the movement. So movement might be happening, and is happening, obviously. in you who doesn't move. Actually, you are the movement in no movement, which is prior you. Always go to the first and abide as that. There is no special abidance. Abidance is already. Only don't follow the mind so much. And this is enough to feel the natural state, to rest in peace. Switch off your interest into the past. Past is not important at all. It's just a memory. Do not make it important right now. Be fresh. Be completely fresh and available to wake up from the dream. Make yourself available for waking up by not buying the past, by not buying what you know, what you remember, and what you imagine. When you notice your mind projecting the future, don't buy that either. It's another avoidance. From waking up. The clouds of the past are not important at the moment. The clouds of the future are really not so important right now. It's just a movement. It's just the vibration of energy. Don't give it your full attention. See what is not moving right now. What is not on the journey. What is not processing anything at all. What simply takes hold of everything. And you can do it in two ways. One way is just by imagination that such a place exists, and you can dream of getting there. And this is the mind. And the other way is more obvious, but very often overlooked. It's just simple recognition that this is already so. Everything, absolutely everything happens in you, from you, which is not a little you, a personality you, but the presence, obvious presence of this moment. So you don't have to imagine this, projecting what you know or what you would like to know, or what you think you know. It's just the only reality. Right now, right now, everything happens from there, in there. There is no way out from there, in there. Simply notice this. Like in this very moment, inhalation and exhalation lives in the presence, like the thought lives in this presence, like the sound lives in this presence, like absolutely everything lives there, is born there, and dies there. Just don't follow objects so much, and rest as the presence itself, as the openness itself, as the background for everything. Don't travel with the objects. Let them come and go naturally, on its own accord. You don't have to travel to this voice to hear it. You don't have to travel to your thoughts to hear them, perceive them. You don't have to even travel to imagination to appear. You don't have to travel to interpretation to have it, to grasp it, to conquer it. Just simply do nothing. Make no effort. None of the effort is needed. Only the presence. And I'm speaking only about something which is done already. I'm not speaking about something to do. I'm speaking about something what is done and just for us to recognize. No, just the stillness. Unmovable. And now just for yourself, see what is more about you. The stillness or the movement and duties. The happening or non-happening. What is more about you? What you love the most? What you love the most? Do you like to travel? With the mind? Or you prefer seeing it from yourself? How does it feel inside? Because only you can see it. Nobody can tell you anything about it. You have to see the difference actually in your experience. How it is to live free from the mind and how it is to live driven by the mind. Being driven by the mind is our passion in this life. Until we are super tired of it. There is an option where you conquer everything. Where the mind is your servant, not your enemy. Where the mind is your friend and you love it. Not being your enemy at all. And this is why is satsang. To conquer the world and the mind, not as the mind. And in this, mind is just like a wind. Nothing but. Nothing to get rid of. All is well. All is perfectly well when you know who you are. See right now if it's available for you or if you feel it's not available to you. If it's not available, it's probably because there is some subtle involvement in the mind or some subtle avoidance. So open yourself for an option to be free from that, if you feel you're not available. But if you are available to the presence right now, you know how it feels. How free is that? And how beautiful. So we slowly can open our eyes. It feels like meditation is finished, but it's not finished. Now we continue. There is no break actually to meditation. Meditation is our reality. Meditation is you. Everybody's warm? Yeah?
Are you?
Me?
Me?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm very good. Actually, it's perfect temperature for me. So where to start, huh? Somebody would like to start something? Some doubts or some, maybe no doubts? It's clear? Or is it not? I just make an introduction a little bit. So make a best use of this opportunity here.
Yeah. Inquiries. When I heard about inquiries last time from you, I tried to grasp it as a concept. It didn't work. So I gave up. I let go of it and just resorted to observing. And it feels like that I do observe the moment when mind enter. I definitely don't have a lot of firmness at the moment because I go with the mind, and it's kind of like diving into something. I don't trust my words here, but or maybe like a flame catching you, and I kind of that moment know. Now I'm going with it, and I have a trust that I wake up again. Sometimes it takes days, but it feels like it takes shorter and shorter. Maybe not shorter, but then the awareness pop up during being taken by the mind, and I have a choice. It's not very often I take the choice to find this stillness, the silence, the essence. But it's definitely very often I feel the choice is calling, or is there.
The choice?
To enter when I'm catched by the mind, like to step out of it or step into the essence.
Yeah.
The choice is popping up more and more often, and it's not, I don't feel very bad about being grasped about the mind. It's like, that's how life is.
Well, it's up to you.
Yeah, that was it's kind of like my practice have taken this form, and now I like maybe need at that point a direction to next step or
yes. Mm-hmm. We were talking about it yesterday a bit during the satsang. So there is passive stage of our journey. There is a sleepy phase of our journey until we are ready to wake up from that, or until we have really enough. And so you have a clarity of real inquiry and the fake inquiry. You know where the mind can produce inquiry also. You know it. You know the difference. You feel the difference. You know the space. But then you said, so life goes on. It's okay. No? Is it active or is it passive? It's quite passive. And this comes from the lazy mind. It's a little bit lazy mind to let go. This is the moment of letting go. Wow. And this is the moment where actually nobody can do it for you. You can have a greatest teacher next to you. You can have the most supportive circumstances not to do it, but you still can do it. Follow the mind. So this is the moment of life where life is speaking to you directly. This is your turn. This is your active part. Active might mean invitation for self-inquiry in this moment, for this real self-inquiry, for this what you started to know better. Because really, we rely on people, we rely on teachings, we rely on circumstances, prediction, and all of it. We rely on it just not to finally be the active part of it.
Makes sense, because if I'm getting challenged, I step right into presence. If life challenged me in some way, there's no way I'm gonna stay with. It feels like
you don't have a choice.
Then I take the choice. But I definitely don't take it else.
Yeah, so this is like I was saying yesterday, and I'm saying it more and more, a life self-inquiry. You know, this moment when you hear the thought, it's okay. It's life goes on. It's okay, life goes on. Of course, then it goes on. And then it continues. Then, you know, the dreaming is dreamt. Just the dreaming until you have again, like really enough. Oh, presence. Oh, amazing. Great. And then dreaming. It's okay to dream. Life is spontaneous. Life goes on. It's just like this. There's many thoughts we have inside like that, which are prolonging the dream until you have enough. Every time. So while we hear these thoughts, the self-inquiry job is not by any of them and be fully alive. And be in this not intellectual self-inquiry, but a life self-inquiry, which is completely different. So there is this, we get awakening for free. You know?
Yeah.
Life is giving all of us here is giving a moment of free awakening. For free. Great. And then we think, okay, give me more. Just give me more. Why are not you life giving me more non-stop? But probably there is a reason for that. Why it's not given like this. So in those moments where you are not feeling awake, when you are not feeling in this grounded, probably there is some job there where your role and your involvement is needed. But what kind of involvement is that? It's not a job, it's letting go of everything. Letting go of the mind. Letting go of the memory and letting go of an imagination. And it can be in split second. And you are done for a whole day. Or for a week. Done. But this is our human part in it. And then in all circumstances, it has to be met this way. And until we can say, I'm free in all circumstances, it's all okay. So we are not taken by the mind dream again. And we are vigilant, open to see when it's coming with its invitation, you know, it's coming. And you can be passive about it, so it of course take you over. And you can be active and it goes. And you're transparent. You're completely transparent, it goes everywhere. It's nothing. You're just here. Yes, very often people, for instance, comes to satsang or come to the teacher and they just, you know, they come and they just wait. When she's gonna give me this? When she's gonna give me this? When I finally start feel good? Why am I not yet feeling good? Why is it not, I mean, probably it's not a good satsang. Maybe next satsang. Maybe it's not yet. Maybe I'm gonna go to Carnegie Hall and for a biggest concert or satsang, then maybe, but not maybe now. So this is our passive mind. This is our avoidance of this opportunity in the moment always. You know, so people can wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. There was a book like Waiting for Godot or some like that about it. So you wait and we wait. Mind is just waiting. But our activity is the crucial thing here. Our investigation and readiness to be open in this very moment. Not for tomorrow, not for 1 hour, but right now. I remember like when the clarity came here, I was married that time. Yeah, and it was just an openness in here, and I was not much into speaking, into communication, into nothing. I was just sitting. And I remember my husband that time, he was coming to me and sitting in front of me often, and he was just waiting. Just waiting until I will do something to give him something, to give him the awakening, or to give him what I know. But it's not possible. This is not something to be given. The only thing important is for us to be open, being available to hear it from the deeper space. We don't have to know how. Yes.
Who is it? Who is it really that wants to overcome the mind?
Who wants to overcome the mind?
The lazy mind. If you happen to have a lazy mind.
What mind?
If we happen to have a lazy mind.
Lazy. Mm-hmm.
I think most of us have, to some degree at least. But if we decide to overcome that laziness, who is it really that tries to overcome it?
This is a great question. This is the great question, and we can look at this question from two perspectives, from two angles. This is a very important question. Who actually wants to wake up? Who wants to overcome the mind? Yeah?
Yes.
This is the question. So one way of seeing it is our personality is so tired. Our personality, our life is so unbearable. It's like our personality is also so tired, so it wants to make a little bit better. And then we do some trainings, we do some work to make it work better. And we can have some result in this realm. So this is one way to put it. But the other, ultimate way to put it, it's something different which wants to wake up. It is not the mind. It is some different pull of the universe which wants to go back to itself. Because, if we have a real longing for awakening, and if we are ready to it, but this is a stressful word, are you ready? I will leave this word. But there is an ultimate pull which wants to wake up from illusion, which he input himself on himself. And if it's a mind, we can check this. If it's a mind, does really mind wants to wake up from itself, really? Does it? The mind is just thoughts. It's a traffic of thoughts, one by one. And it can have even imagination of enlightenment, of awakening. So it will produce. But something in us is not buying this. Something is not buying this. It's like perpetuation of the thoughts non-stop. And something goes deeper. And it's not buying one of those. Is it a mind then? What is this? Where is this? Like our inner maturity. Something is mature to see these things. And not to stay in one of them. We stay temporary in 1 hour of our thoughts. But after 1 day, 1 hour, 1 week, gone. I had my truth here for 1 week. Fantastic. I'm so awake. Gone. I have another thought. I'm the isness of something or something. Oh, fantastic. Gone. I found my teacher. It's here. Gone. Everything what is visible is gone. So there is like a deep maturity in our being. In some of the beingness, not everyone is the same in this. That we are not buying these waves. That something is not buying waves. We know wave as the wave. But we are not stick into them. So we know that whatever expression can happen is just the expression of the moment. But that there is maturity which is witnessing this. So it could be mind which is tired and wants something else, because, okay, I had my tough life and I want to have a good life. So I exchange tough life into good life. But this is a still mind. This is a still projection. It's endless. It can continue endlessly. So I will do now my better life, my good life. And I can have many ideas about good life.
But at some point you even get tired of a good life.
Exactly. Because you are not satisfied. You are internally not satisfied with the shadow only, with the expression only. Something wants the source. And what it wants? Is it a mind? Only source wants the source. There is a movement in the source to go back to the source. And no matter what, you are ready to die for it. Something is ready to give away everything for that. And if this readiness is in us, awakening happens. If this readiness is in us. Otherwise, we buy something on the way. But something inside of us knows it's nothing. It's nothing, but we still buy it. It's nothing, but we buy it. Until we are tired. Or until we are ripe, we could say. Not to buy it. Endlessly, because we are doing it like this way for eons of time. It's not the first time we are doing it, buying the mind. It's continuing like this journey non-stop until we fall apart from this wheel. And then we are happy. So mind wants to prolong the mind. Prolong life. Have an experience. Have an understanding. This is the mind job. But there is this deeper calling which wants to see the source of the mind. Mind is beautiful. It's great. Why not? I'm not saying it's something bad. It's beautiful. But there is something which gives its life, which gave life into all existence, which gave life into absolutely everything. And it's not like we have imagination about it, about the source. It's not like we have imagination about it. By tuning into this, we know we are that and we expand in ourselves. this inner knowing is profound. It cannot be compared to anything at all. This inner peace can't be compared to anything at all. It's like speaking about love and experiencing love. It's such a difference. So we have to see in satsang, it's very important in satsang to see what is our navigation here. I mean, am I just changing my heart part of life into something? Or am I really at this very moment ready to distance myself from absolutely everything and to give myself opportunity to be completely open and not to know anything at all, and let's see what happens. Forgetting everything. Everything. Why this term awakening or waking up was made this way, that somebody found this term, wake up. You know, why they created this term, waking up, awakening? Because our life is dreaming. Experiencing is dreaming. Being completely involved in experiencing is dreaming. So we dream, and this dream is endless. Dreaming. And it feels real, completely real, because we manifest, we perceive ourselves, we have senses. And while this is happening, we can wake up from that. And then, what is real then? Something which we cannot grasp, which we cannot touch, which we cannot see, which we cannot have, we cannot remember, we cannot possess. But intuitively inside, we know this is the only truth. And we don't know it with the mind, we know it differently. We know it differently. And to actually discriminate what is sleeping and what is not sleeping from this perspective will be quite different. What is real life and what is not life. It's quite opposite. There is this expression of Ramana Maharishi. The I removes the I and yet remains I. So is this the same as this question? So it is the source which removes the separateness, the belief, I am the body, I am the mind. And it stays the source. It is I who removes the I and yet remains the I. This belief in separateness is seen as just a belief, but not real. And where is this source we are speaking about? This is amazing. This is the core of self-inquiry. Where is this source who is doing this big thing? It is inside, from where we are speaking right now. From where you can hear yourself reacting, you can hear myself talking. But from where is it happening right now? Where is it? Is it far? Where is the source?
You can't find it. You can only know it.
Exactly, but is it here?
Of course.
Exactly. And everything is changing, moving, in this, everything is like, ooh. But is it touched? Can we hurt it? Can we hurt this? It's just simply here. And we are looking for this here, sitting in here. We are looking for the source, from the source.
So the source is looking for itself and try to wake up to itself.
Isn't that fun, isn't it? Yeah, exactly. And then the source says, oh my God.
And waking up from something that don't exist.
What was the last sentence?
And waking up from something that don't exist.
Never
Ultimately, nothing exists.
never existed.
It's just a prank.
And we take it as a reality. We humans take it as a reality, as our life, solid life. And this is true for us, and all else is imagination. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny?
Yes.
It's the most funny thing possible. I take my my yesterday's emotion as real. Where they are now. They are not here. I take my 5 minutes ago thoughts as real. Where they are now. Where it's gonna be in five years. Gone.
Mm.
Where is it when we are sleeping? Not here. This is how we believe the dream. And when we wake up from the dream, it doesn't stop the dreaming, in a way. Because the body is still alive. Chair is a chair, body is a body. Life goes on, breathing happens, everything happens, but differently. Same but different. Exactly same, completely different. And how to even speak about it. And we are so lucky that I think the biggest lack of life is that we can actually meet like this, like exactly like this moment. We can meet, we can talk about it, we can inquire this, and we can find a resonance that this is so. This is not imagination. That we can find the beings which can confirm this to be so. Because otherwise, if we stay with this by ourselves, we will experience doubting mind. Yes, maybe it's like this. We can make it into philosophy or our mode for today. We can have a profound thought, one profound thought, and then it's gone. But here, why we are here? We are here to confirm this to be true. Confirm this to be true. And really resting and relying on this, what we discovered. Because if we rest in this and if we rely on this, it has tremendous impact on our life. If we are not lazy.
Yes. It is not enough just to realize it once, at least not for me.
Not at all.
Again and again and again, every day, for years and years and years.
Yes, like Ramana Maharishi said.
You wake
Because-
up and then you fall asleep. You wake up, then you fall asleep.
Yes, Ramana Maharishi was asked, so for how long shall I practice self-inquiry? For how long shall I practice? And Ramana said, until you practice this non-stop, until it becomes effortless. Meaning that you don't need to do it because it's being done. But if it's not the case, the self-inquiry is needed. Discovery is needed again. But some people call this non-duality path, direct path, and they say, oh, it's so good. I just see once, it's done forever, for rest of my life. But this is very passive. It's super passive attitude. And actually very misleading. And again, taken over by the mind. I have it done. I'm awake. And I can start teaching even. You know?
Mm.
And then you fall in love in this self-inquiry. Because if we do it, we just experience falling in love in this. Because there is nothing greater than this, really, in this universe. I haven't found anything greater than this. Switching off from the perspective of the mind. Switching off from this narrow perspective. There is nothing greater than that. And not mentally, but experientially, inside of our being. And what is this? It's immediate happiness. It's immediate relief. It's immediate peace and immediate bliss. And freedom. Because some people are so disappointed that they have to do self-inquiry again. They are so disappointed, and why is this happened to me? I got that a week ago on the retreat, and 2 years ago I was clear, and 5 years ago, and why not now? Why? Because you have to be a little bit active in this. Like, you have to give yourself into it. And it's immediate peace, immediate happiness, immediate relief. Yeah, I don't discover anything greater and better than self-inquiry in the world.
But it do require some maturity before.
Yeah, so we have to be a bit tired, maybe. We have to be a bit tired, maybe. Or less lazy, or whatever. I don't know how to say it. All of us are here to hear these words. Every one of us is here to hear those words. But what you guys gonna do with these words? This I don't know. This I don't know what you're gonna do with this. But everyone heard this. I guess. No? Because we can be, I know very often it happens, people are upset with God. You know, I'm really upset. God loved me 5 years ago, 3 months ago, a month ago. Yesterday he loved me, but today he doesn't love me. He doesn't love me today. We have to deserve him and our active part. Because he's here all the time and he loves this all the time. He's here with this message all the time. This message is here all the time. We are just not taking it sometimes. It's like self-inquiry. It's all good. And you can ask in this moment, wasn't not here when you didn't see it? Now you were just busy with something else. If you want God, God wants you. If you don't want him, you don't see him. It's very easy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
How is it going, Joe?
It's good. I don't know.
Huh? Can you take the mic?
I don't know what to say. Something resonates and something is switching, kind of.
Switching off?
Yeah, something is falling off.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot happening in the body as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's good.
But do you find it clarifying what's being told, or you are confused in some parts?
I feel I'm listening more energetically somehow. And some things I don't hear, but most of it I feel I hear.
Okay. So there is no resistance into something specific. Don't try to be polite. You know, it's
Yes.
makes no sense. If you find it
No, not with the teaching. The resistance is more from before, past.
And what it's saying, what this resistance has to say, speak it out
I feel more it's like a
energetically.
yes, it's holding, like yes.
Yeah, it's okay. So it's bodily feeling more. Yeah?
Yes. Emotions is.
If they had a voice, what would they say?
It's a hiding.
Hiding.
Yes. And loneliness.
Loneliness.
And also some like childish anger. Being stubborn.
Very good. It's sometimes very good. It's to speak it loud. What is this? You know,
Okay.
it's like you are doing in the moment. It's good to say it because then it has less power.
Okay.
When it's said, like, because sometimes our inner demons, I call it demons, but it's a too big word for that. And our inner sorry, it's not demons, but our inner energies, they feel when they are not named or they are not seen through your inquiry like we are doing at the moment, it seems that they are bigger than they really are. That they are bigger than they really are. It's just the way the energy moves, and you call it. So it's childish. It wants to hide.
Yes.
It's some of the anger. What else?
It's kind of just like a shutting off thing. And,
Yeah.
hiding.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Because when we are into satsang and when we hear those words which are really completely not to our personalities, this what we perceive here and what you hear, it's really not into our personality. It's not for us to gain anything. It's not for us to have anything. So the reaction of the body mind very often is like this. It's like a resistance, or it's like hiding, or I feel poor, or I feel not seen. Many of different expressions of those. But when we bring it into the light, meaning that if we see it, it has less and less power. Because this is a habit. This is a habit of life. Of your experiencing, probably. And now you can see that this is not you.
Yes.
This is not you. These are energies. This is memory, actually.
Yeah.
This is storage of memory, which is on the surface. But this is not you. You are not the reaction. It is not you who hides. The hiding happens right now because of hearing those words which are pointing not to the habit, but from the habit. So habits are trying to survive a little bit, or they are touched. You are also touched by this, what is being heard.
Yeah.
So this is also a life self-inquiry, what I mean. This is a life self-inquiry. This is happening, and this is tangible almost. It's not almost, it's tangible, because you feel it from inside.
Yes.
These energies, you feel them. So if we are not mature in satsang, most of the people here in the world who came here, they will try to say, oh my God, he's right. He's right. He feels sad. He feels anger. He feels alone. Oh my God, let's help him. Let's help him. He's right. 99% of humanity will say this. Oh, poor you. Oh, my poor child.
And something is looking for that as well.
Something is looking for that, and it's also okay. It's also okay, because maybe the experience is like that, but don't be taken over by that.
No.
Because for some reason you came for satsang. For some reason life made it this way, so you are in satsang where we are not feeling this one. We are waking up from that one. We are not feeding, we are not giving it the food. We are not doing this. This is okay, but we are speaking about something much greater, which is real you. because you are not emotion. You are not the thought. You are not something tangible. These things are tangible and they scream for truth. Our emotions scream for truth. Our resistance scream for truth. And say, yes, look at this. Look at it, how I feel. Look at what I know. Look what I feel. But it's nothing compared to the witnessing. It's nothing. So this is the real transcendence. It's transcendence of personality, of habits, of past, of memory, of wants, of desires, of projecting of the future. It's waking up from the dream of being a person, of being a body and the mind. It's not for us, it's from us. It's not for you, it's from you. So we can find peace. So you can find eternity. Not as a memory, but as your home. This is why you are here. And one last thing about this, that sometimes mind can jump and can say, yeah, but why am I still feeling something in the body right now? Why am I feeling emotion? Why am I feeling thoughts or anything like that? It's totally fine. Like the breath doesn't disappear, like the world suddenly doesn't disappear, but the world is living in you. It's not you who is in the world. You're free from that. You're free from the world. So it can be anything inside. And everything is equally same, good. But not as an excuse, but as a radical acceptance inside, and as awakening itself. It's if you have a feeling of something like shifting, don't buy the next thought which might come. Okay, something. It's not important, or it's just. Not recognizable. It's something very important. There is a waking up from the dream. I mean, and you can have a split second of waking up, and then the next invitation from the mind might come, and it's completely forgotten, like it was never here. So now when we will make a break in a moment, just keep some of your attention in this, where satsang points to. Because we have just 2 days of sharing, and you can really make the best use of it by not losing some of your attention from there. during the breaks, during the meals, during the walks. You know, because then it's like coming, going, coming, going, coming, going. Let it make no coming and going, but just being as the isness all the time. You know what I mean? So it's not like this. I mean, this might be here, but we are here. Yeah? So we are here while this is happening. Oops. Like the mind waves, the life waves, the experiencing emotion waves in here. But while I'm speaking right now, I'm having my focus on the self. I'm not taking over by this. So you do the same. And if you experiment with this on the retreats like that, then you can see, oh my God, actually I can conquer this in whole my life. I'm like this all my life, and I'm gonna do it. And I'm gonna be perfectly happy with this. So life can go on, we can be engaged in anything. But if we have this rooting in the self, it's totally different experience. So we are not taken over completely. So now we will make a short break, but you keep yourself. It's not like you have to do something special about it, because we can still chat, we can still communicate, but you yourself be in the self, as the self. Don't lose this focus completely. Okay?
Is anybody going or staying? Each of you are going. Yeah. You can come to me.
Okay, so thank you for satsang for now. Thank you.